All right, folks, welcome in. Happy Friday, happy holidays, all of that good stuff. We've got a very special release we're going to be doing with Fetti Says. This kind of happened all of a sudden. I didn't know it was coming. It's like, let's do a live stream. It's like, all right, cool, let's do it. So we're going to bring on Fetti here. We're going to talk about the new scent, talk about all the cool stuff he's got going on in his world these days. And we're going to talk to you guys a little bit. So let's go ahead and welcome on Fetti. Welcome, sir.
Going on.
Great to have you
Merry
back on
Christmas.
here. I think this is what the third live stream we've done together, maybe.
Yeah.
That sounds
We
right. I
did
know
Appleberry, we did Mango Tango, and now we're doing Oscar night.
that's right. Oscar and I, we started to wear suits, but these circumstances, Fetti said he couldn't wear his suit tonight, so we didn't wear one. But let me say hello to the good folks here in the chat. I saw E in here. Welcome. And Tommy and
Tommy.
JP and Jeffrey and Robert Allen and the bearded RN and all these cool folks. Appreciate you guys joining us here on a very special Friday evening before Christmas. Hopefully you don't have to do any more work in between now and Christmas. I'm off. Betty, you got to work any between now and Christmas besides the work you're doing at home?
A little bit, but it shouldn't be anything too major. I used up all my days when I went to Portugal a few weeks back in November, so
Oh, I
I
haven't
gotta
heard
come.
about that. You have to tell me about Portugal in a little bit if we have time.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
That sounds very cool.
It
JP said
was.
he's working tomorrow. I'm sorry, JP. Finish strong, and then you can get a little time off, I hope, and enjoy yourself and your family. Let me tell you real quick about the deal that's going on tonight, and then we'll get into our scent that we're releasing. So, let's see, that's a little big. I don't know what happened there. Shrink that down a little bit. See if that works better. Oops, now it's too small. It's the way technology goes sometimes. You get everything set like you want, and then it just doesn't work right. All right, we'll go with that. So you've got a different code tonight. So we've got the code XMAS, and that'll get you 25% off. But this is the best place to be is when Fetti has these special live stream launches because you get a special deal. And not only do you get 25% off, you get a 1 ounce oil of choice. And when I've got 10 oils sitting here, I can give you what my favorites are here in just a little bit. And all you need to do is type in at the comments there at checkout which scent you want. That's the way that usually works. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And let us know in the comments if you've got your favorite Fetti scents. Go ahead and share those out with people in case they want to pick something up when they get this brand new scent that we're going to tell you all about. It is called Oscar Night. There's the Oscar Night right there. And then the profile on it is a floral rich tobacco with sweet goodness. And let me tell you, let me let you say a little bit, Fetti, about what you were going for, and then I'll give you my take on it in just a minute.
Okay. I had gotten inspired recently from a fragrance. I'm a big fragrance collector called Naxos by a company called Jerjoff, and it's a very popular floral, sweet tobacco fragrance that's very balanced, very refined. I think there's lavender in there, there's a little bit of mint, as well as there's tobacco in it, but it's not really a tobacco-based fragrance, but more so on the dry down, you get that. Anyway, that inspired me so much. I decided to come up with my own version of a sweet tobacco scent that's been on the list. This time with this creation, it was very personal for me, mainly because I'm an avid cigar smoker. So I think tobacco is an art. I appreciate the flavor of things, just like coffee. I really love the taste of coffee more than what it does for you. So this is something I really put a lot of time into to make sure that this uh, came out good, and I wanted to do a different interpretation of a sweet tobacco scent. Let's say, for example, vanilla tobacco that's been done. Some might argue it's been overdone, but it's not something uncommon. I think almost every company like has their own vanilla tobacco scent in some way or form. So I get it. But I wanted to stand out with something different, and I think the floral component was something I thought that would add a little touch, as well as honey, vanilla, and other sweet components, just to give it a little more texture and complexity. Um, so is that good enough, or you want me to go further?
It's up to you. Let me go ahead and tell folks here what I get from it.
Okay.
Definitely get that vibe you were going for. And I can get the sweetness is a little bit of a floral, and then like you said with the honey, this is a really unique scent. It's got a lot of earthiness to it. When the sweetness wears off, it almost has like a dark note to it, the something with the earthiness to it. So um, you get tobacco on it, but it's not overly strong. Like you said, I wouldn't call it a knock you down tobacco type of scent. It's also, I was expecting with Oscar night, I was thinking it was going to be straight up cologne, but you don't get that kind of fragrance to it. For me, at least it doesn't scream cologne. I just get more earthiness, a sweet earthiness with the tobacco and the floral notes to it, which was kind of interesting. I'll tell you something else that's not in here, but you'll appreciate it because I just heard what you just said. I put some on and walked into the kitchen, and my wife had just ground the coffee beans for tomorrow morning. She put them in there. I'm like, that really goes well with it. So I don't know if you've messed with any coffee kind of ideas, but I think they would go really good together. It's got that earthiness to it as well. So
Yes.
when the sweetness wears off, you got the sweet, but you also have that bitter kind of bite to it. I don't know. I guess that's coming from the tobacco, I guess, but it's a really, really well blended, very unique, just like all of your scents. By the way, I pulled out all the scents that I have from you. Some are over 2 years old. They still smell just as good as when I got them. So I can tell you put a lot of different complex notes in it. If not, they would not last that long. If you just put one
That's right.
fragrance in there, I have some that don't last 6 months and they're gone. Like I said, I've got some here that are up to and over 2 years old. My first video I did for you was October of 2021. So that's well over
Wow.
2 years. It's still the coffee, chocolate coffee oud, and the white apple bourbon. Those are still going strong. Those are the first ones I got from you.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. Those two are very potent, very unique. And I would say too, that's when I started getting into complexity and more so of a niche brand,
Hmm.
and started coming up with non-traditional scents, if you will, to stand out. That's when it started. I think chocolate coffee oud was the first start, as well as anniversary blend, and then white apple bourbon was the follow-up, where I wanted something to stand out from the traditional like Christmas type of scents. This is one of them. Also, too, the name Oscar Night. It came from growing up. My mom used to always call me in her room when I was watching video games to come see Oscar Night. She was a big movie TV fanatic, and she was just so I would say enamored with the fact that all of these stars come out one night. They dress up in some of the greatest designer brands, custom made fabrics. If you notice on the tables that they're sitting at while they're watching people accept their awards or what have you, there's Moet champagne bottles all over the table. They give you gift bags. It's just this whole thing. So I said, if you got invited to the Oscars for a night, what would you wear? Because a lot of people was like, oh, okay, that's nice. I think I have a tux. I probably got to get a tux. No big deal, whatever. But no, there's a lot to me put into it if I was invited to Oscar night. And I think one of the things would be the fragrance. What kind of fragrance am I going to wear to be distinguished? A lot of people is going to be wearing expensive stuff. But what could I wear and feel confident about that no one else is going to wear? And for the bearded community, the fragrance is synonymous to the beard oil and the beard butter. You want to be wearing something that nobody else in that room is wearing. So I knew this had to be different. So the floral component is saffron. You're picking up earthy tones from some of the tobaccos. There's two different kinds of tobacco in it. It's a dry tobacco, and then there's also a sweet, mid-sweet pipe tobacco.
Yeah, and
So it's getting
I
that down.
definitely get that, and it's not overly peppery. Like
Right.
you had a little bit of peppery in my leather jacket. It doesn't have that kind of pepper to it. It's got a very nice earthy with a little bit of sweet blend to it. It's very good.
Thank you. I added a little bit of pimento in the mid just to give it some flair, for the dry down.
Hmm.
Uh, what else is in there? There's cedar in there. There's rum raisin in there. There's cognac in there. Again, to give it more of a richness, complexity. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I threw in it? There's tonka bean in there. There's a little oud in there. So again, you can feel confident that nobody else is probably wearing it with everyone else wearing beard oils. So that's why there's such a unique smell to it.
Yeah, it's very good, very complex, and it changes a lot
Yeah.
once you put it in. And I just got it today, but I put it on as soon as I got it, and then I put on a little bit more right before we started. And it's like, okay, we're going to go back to the beginning here, where we've got the floral and the sweet, and then that goes away. 20 minutes or so after you get the dry down, and some of that sweetness goes away. Not overly, like I'm not big on vanilla. This is more like a Tonka kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not tobacco vanilla like you might think is going to be. It's
Mhm.
very sophisticated for sure. A couple questions here. Somebody asked if you have samples yet. I don't think you have any yet, right? I know that was on your to-do list.
I'm not yet. It's still on to-do list. I'm sorry I keep saying it. It's just I'm in the process of moving now, so once I get settled, I will have that on the site. It's definitely coming. Sometime next week I'll start working on it. Um, but yeah, that's where I am with samples. It's definitely coming soon.
And do you have any woodsy scents? That's a good question. I know we've talked about it a little bit. You don't have anything specifically really, really woodsy, but that
Right.
might be something coming next year. Uh,
Yes, absolutely a more dark, woody um type of a fragrance, maybe with some vetiver in there, cedar wood, maybe some oak moss. I've been thinking longer that type of line, and it'd be an all year round scent. You could suggest possibly Fetty a Myth. There's some balsamic fir in there.
mm-hmm.
There is some cedar wood. Um, there's grapefruit in there. But the dry down, it starts getting woodsy with the lavender. So I would suggest that, and again, it's going to be subtle in the middle, not too overpowering.
Yeah, and even the chocolate coffee oud, when the oud kicks in, it gets kind of more woodsy
Yep,
towards the
Darwood.
end. Yep. So good question there, and I agree. I love having him on the screen here to explain everything in more detail. Plus, you get more from him than what you see just reading the bottle, right? You've already gotten things like saffron and rum raisin and some of the other things there. Good question. Is the scent strong? I would consider it. Medium to medium strong, at least compared to other scents, kind of these days. Scents don't seem to be quite as strong as they did 5 years ago when I first started this. I think people have kind of like figured out a nice happy medium. So this one it's so complex that you get different notes. Hours later, you're still getting kind of different things to it. So that kind of keeps your nose interested, I think, instead of having one scent where your nose kind of gets used to smelling it and then you don't smell it as much even though other people may smell it. So I would consider it medium, a little bit on the stronger side of medium. I don't know if that's what you
Right.
were going for.
Yeah. Definitely. I wanted something. Just again, like clone. You reaching over, you shaking somebody's hand, somebody's whispering something in your ear during the Academy Awards. You giving somebody a hug and they catch a whiff of it. Me personally, I get whiffs of it when I'm walking,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the house. It will feel like, did I leave the butter jar open? I'm smelling it. I notice every time when I walk past. But yeah, I would say a high medium. And again, with those ingredients that I mentioned, it can only last long as well as sort of linger with like a scent trail in the air, definitely for a few hours.
Yeah, and I keep thinking about the Oscar night and that kind of stuff. Just because of a
Right.
little bit of floral in it, and especially
Yeah,
the top notes, you're going to blend in really good with the lady on your arm too. Like it's going to be a
exactly.
a good combination. It's not like you're going to stick way out as
Right.
something completely different.
hmm It's first time working with saffron. Usually I work with a lot of lavender, um, or hibiscus. But
Right?
this is first time working with saffron, and I think saffron and tobacco works really well together. It's in the mid note, so again, that's what gives it a complexity, gives it some body to make everything else sort of like spread around throughout the time. So definitely, I think it was a great choice.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about the carrier blends because you do have some different carrier blends depending on your scents, and we got to get into this butter too because this butter is something else. So the carrier blend on the oil is shea nut oil, ostrich, prickly pear, and meadow foam. Does that look right to you?
That is correct.
Yeah, that's good. Good feeling there. And once again, you're going to get this in a big old 2 ounce bottle. But as I said, I've got some oils here that's over 2 years old from Fetti, and it still has really good scent strength. So they're going to last you a good while. If you have a large collection and like rotating things around, I think you'll be good to go with that. So you want to talk a little bit about your carrier blend for this one? Is this the one that you've used before? I know
No,
sometimes you mix things together, but you've always used something before, and you kind of do different combinations.
right. This time, this combo was the first time. Definitely, you're gonna see meadow foam seed oil commonly present in my oils because I think it does a good job of refining and smoothing things out, whether it's too thick, or too thin. So I would say that you would see prominent unless I find something else. But this was my first time working with shea nut and ostrich together. Um, I didn't want to give too much ostrich and be redundant, like in my leather jacket, as well as autumn spice. There's ostrich in there. I feel like for this time of year, I'm reaching more for like bird fat based oils. It does a good job of coating my beard as well as moisturizing it in the cold air. So I wanted to just try and see how shea nut and ostrich would work together, and I love it. The main starter player here that I think is interesting is the prickly pear seed oil. I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's very expensive, but it's almost within that same family as the metafoam. I think it's a little bit more denser and thicker than, let's say, metafoam seed oil or broccoli seed oil. So this was very interesting. But I love this combination. This is one of my favorite carrier oil blends out of all of my collections. At least top three, easy.
Yeah, and it works really well for me. I just got it today, so I've only, like I said, used it one time. But as soon as I put it in, instant softness, and it's still going on strong right now as well. I love, and this isn't necessarily thicker, but I like the ostrich, the fatty stuff. It just coats your beard, gives you a little bit of shine, gives you good styling, and I think it really works well if you're doing an oil only. If you're an oil only person, this is going to last you all day as well. But if you're not an oil only person, we've got something even better for you. We've got this butter that is super duper light and creamy and goes right into your beard as well. So let me see if I can find the right buttons here. So we're adding in cocoa butter and avocado butter to go along with the same carrier oils there. Is that right?
Yes, shea nut oil, ostrich oil, prickly pear seed oil, metafoam seed oil.
And I don't know
I know.
how you got it into this consistency where it can't, it didn't had no issues getting to me. just fine. But as soon as you put your finger in, they're just like it's almost like Vaseline. It's kind of like that when you stick your finger in. Obviously, it doesn't stay goopy like Vaseline when you warm it up and put it in your beard, but it's very, very cool consistency.
Yes, cocoa butter has a lot to do with it, where it looks like it's very, very firm from the outside, and then when you put your hand in it, it kind of just goes through it.
Hmm.
Um, and I love cocoa butter too because it's a good fighter towards eczema. And usually in this cold type of weather, I get a lot of dry skin. I get a lot of eczema, so I thought of that right away. And overall, I would say this is it feels light in the hand and in the beard because of that avocado butter. So
Hmm.
this is something I enjoy putting on, and one of my customers said too. Typically with these new formulations with no shea butter, um, you can apply it more than once in a day. So like now again out here in New York, it's like 30 degrees, so you might want to put some butter on if you're going out, just for extra coating. But if you do that and say you put on butter earlier and then put it on at night before you go to bed again, it really wouldn't cause like an overload of product, wouldn't clog your pores, or make your beard like cakey or too shiny or greasy. This is something you can keep applying because of the quality of it, and not feel guilty about it. So I think that's awesome, and it's something I enjoy putting on.
Yeah, I can agree with all of that for sure. And Jeffrey asked a good question. There is a special code for tonight. It is Xmas, and I have pinned it to the chat, and that'll get you 25% off your order. Plus, you will get a free 1 ounce oil. You don't add it to your cart. You just look through and figure out which scent you want, and just type it in the notes there at checkout. And there's a lot of good ones to talk about. Well, maybe we'll talk about them here in just a little bit.
Yes.
Does anybody else have any more questions for us about the Oscar night? We'll show off the website here and show you where you can get it and the prices, and maybe some of the other things you've got available right now as well. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So we go to the website, which is FettiSaysBeardCare.com. I didn't put a link in the chat, but there is a link in the video description. But it's FettiSaysBeardCare.com. And we got beard growth and beard health equals beard wealth. We may talk about that a minute because I always love hearing you discuss that. But if you want to pick this up, you can go to the oil from your drop down menu. And now you go to the sorting and go to sort by latest, and it will pop up there. So it's a 2 ounce oil for $34.50. As you said, that prickly pear is a little more expensive, so that's where the extra $2 comes in. But once again, that's a 2 ounce oil, plus you're getting 25% off, plus you're getting a free 1 ounce oil to go with that. So that's really going to be under $30 for 3 ounces of oil. So
Yeah.
and then we've got all of these other cool scents. I've tried most of them. There's a few I haven't tried. Haven't tried the autumn spice or the melon breeze. And then I think I've tried most of the rest of these things. But a
Yes.
lot of good ones there. Let us know in the chat if you've tried Fetti Says and what some of your favorite scents are. And there's not a holiday blend, Jeffrey, that's come out for Christmas or anything. But if you like autumn spice, that's kind of a seasonal thing that's still around. That's probably the closest thing to like a seasonal scent that you've got. You've got some other things that have fruit in it, but they're not necessarily summer scents or anything like that.
I would suggest if he's looking for something festive, so to speak, definitely autumn spice, and don't forget salted caramel musk.
There you go.
Um,
Salted caramel musk. I'll throw out white apple bourbon as
mhm.
well for if you're looking for something
plum, plum
like that.
fig,
Plum
uh,
fig.
salted caramel musk. I just put that in the other day. Something about that rose hip oil in there. It's just perfect for the winter time. When it starts getting cold, that's when you start wearing it. The moment it's below 40 degrees, start using salted caramel musk. And again, that rose hip oil, 9 out of 10 times your beard will love it. It really makes a difference. I think there's shea nut oil in there too, which is a fantastic hydrator for the beard. That's what made me start using it versus just shea butter. Shea nut oil, it has that
Yeah,
fat component like a bird fat, but then a little bit of I don't want to say like greasiness, but like a good greasiness, almost like avocado, where it does wonders for your skin underneath your beard. So that's very festive, almost gourmandish. You have that in a coffee version, which I would describe comparably almost to like a caramel coffee frappuccino. You get that black coffee note, coffee bean note, as well as again you'll get like a caramel frappuccino blended type of coffee scent, maybe like a latte almost. So you can go with either one of them. I love both of them. Very rich, very dark, and again that autumn spice. You have pumpkin souffle in there. You have sweet potato in there. You have praline in there. You have
that's very festive.
exactly. So that'll put you in the mood, uh, as opposed to like a Christmas scent, maybe with something like fir needle or something in there, piney. This will definitely do it on the sweet side. So you can't go wrong with them.
You might need to do a Christmas tree scent next year. I know everybody does it, but I would like to see you do something in that realm just because it's a little bit, because the stuff you do is so complex. It's like you would do something very cool with some sort of holiday scent next year. I think it might be a big hit. Also, while I'm
Absolutely.
thinking about it, I still want to say you take your Oscar night. I want you to do that because you like it. Put a drop of coffee in it and see if you like that in there. Just because I
Okay.
walked in the kitchen, it's like I had that on, it was going, and I stuck my nose down in the coffee just to smell. It's like, man, that's really good combination.
Yeah, I can see it working well with it. It definitely wouldn't mess it up because you have so many other things going on. Originally, I was going to try it with a little sage,
Hmm.
um, like leaf, but
Yeah.
the sage was so potent, almost like peppermint.
Yeah,
It
that
took
might
over
make it
the
too
thing.
too green.
Right. So I took it out, but definitely I can imagine something like coffee, something like espresso going real well with it. So yeah, I'll think about it. Maybe like a Oscar night deluxe version.
I just
you know,
want you to
in
try
all-
because you said how much you love coffee. I know coffee's kind of polarizing as a scent in beard stuff, and I don't usually like coffee scents. It's in beard, but the way you do things, I can handle it. Like chocolate coffee, oud, I love.
yeah.
So Brandon said he still hasn't had a chance to try that limonata. It's always sold out. I like it. It's a nice little lemon head kind of vibe to it with some really nice notes to it.
Yeah, that's out of season. It was a limited edition. I'm trying to see if I can bring it back for the spring. A lot of people requested. I think I even managed to sell like my last bottle with like no label on it to somebody. He wanted to try it so bad.
Sounding
Um,
bootleg versions of it.
yeah, because I'm like, I have a formulation of it if you really, really want it, but it's just not going to have a label. And he was like, I'll take it anyway. I like it. It's very hydrating, and when you want like something uplifting and something bright, you can still put it on even like now, and it's something good that's gonna get your spirits lifted.
Yeah, I can wear any scent anytime. Sometimes you kind of get tracked down to a particular scents that I have to try out from companies different times of the year. But a good scent's a good scent.
Yep.
Yeah, Brandon said to bring it back. So sounds like it might be in the works whenever you
Yeah.
can. Hey, Alex,
Absolutely.
good to see you. All right. Let us know what other questions you guys have. So once again, that was all the different oils. You got like 3 pages. I don't know how many you've got in stock now. It's about 20 or so. I don't know. Close to it.
Yeah. Just about.
Yeah.
Um.
There's a few out of stock there. So it's probably, well over 15. I've got 10 here in front of me. And you got your beard butter. And once again, you can sort it the same way. I always sort by latest so you can see what's come out. And there's the Oscar Night. So that's a 3-ounce butter for $32.50. Once again, you use the code XMAS tonight. You get 25% off. plus that free 1 ounce oil. Who picked up my leather jacket? You come up with some stuff here these last couple that to me are a little bit out of your normal stuff. I guess I've gotten so used to you using a fruit and doing a really good job with like different plays on fruit. But you haven't, and I go back and look at it, it's like not everything you do's got fruit in it, but these last two are like, man, these are really nice. Something a little bit
Yeah,
different.
it was more so of, I would say, a chopping block of how can I challenge myself.
Yeah, I can
So
tell. I can tell you're challenging yourself and trying different things and not resting on your laurels and doing the same kind of thing 12 different ways.
exactly. So just like with everything that I do, from the labels, the carrier oil blends to the scent profiles, uh, I want to kind of push the envelope. And I say this a lot, where we can all try to get the best out of our beards, maybe a different experience, maybe something that surprised us, that we couldn't think we could accomplish. So, I knew, and people email me recommendations as if I can't think of what set I'm gonna come out with next. But I already have this stuff like written down. It's premeditated since like the summer at least. So um, I know that I had to do a tobacco scent for like 2 years now. I knew I had to do a leather scent for 2 years now. I knew autumn spice, a pumpkin spice type of scent. I knew I had to do that sooner or later. So now,
Woodsy's coming next year, 2024.
exactly. So a lot of things you see, it's like already been in the works, and I'm just sort of fine tuning it. Um, so that's usually how that goes. Why you seeing me come out with these things, and I want to show you I can do it. And I do know that my fruit scents are like a forte of mine, so I'm not gonna lose sight of that, especially once the spring and summer comes. It's gonna be a whole lot more things that I'm gonna play with that's out of the box, as far as fruit scents, and trying to create that experience for you.
Yeah, you do a great job with all that. So obviously, you're not a one-trick pony. And as Brandon said, everything you come out with has got that smoothness to it, a little bit of richness. It's complex. You're going to get things that you get different notes throughout the day. So you can really tell a lot goes into it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll get scents from companies and it's just like one fragrance put in there. When that fragrance is gone, that's really all you get out of it. But
Hmm.
this is definitely a lot more exquisite, if you will, gentlemanly. It's got a lot of different notes that you'll get throughout the day, and I've noticed that on just about all the scents. And as you said, that you started making that a point of emphasis about the time I started getting things from you 2 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I wanted my theme to be, and continue. Where a lot of my customers too, they buy scents that I'm doing that they normally wouldn't gravitate to. Let's say like my leather jacket, but because I made it, they're gonna try it because I will sometimes surprise them. So it changes also their perspective on the scent. Like my leather jacket, where now a leather scent to them, they're not completely turned off. They're willing to entertain with somewhat because they know I'm gonna put my best into it versus it being linear. And again, that helps their nose to mature a little more, opens their mind a little more, and they get a different perspective versus, oh, I hate leather scents. I don't go for that. I'm not a leather jacket kind of guy. And then they try it out and they're like, this is not bad.
Yeah. So yeah, once they do that and they realize, hey, I like anything that you make, I'll give it a whirl. So that's where you get your loyal customers from that you built up over the years. You're doing a great job with that for sure. I've
Thank
learned to never say never on any scent profile because good folks like you'll surprise me, and just like as you were saying. But I kind of don't have the option. I've got to whatever somebody sends me is what I try out, and I've tried well over 1,000 at this point. So I don't usually like coffee scents. I like your coffee scent. I don't usually like leather scents. Uh, my leather jacket's okay for me. It's still not my favorite, out of all of them, but it's definitely wearable on that. Some of the fruit stuff, I would say I wouldn't like it until a mango scent. I hate eating mangoes. I don't like them the way they taste, but I like mango tango. So it's interesting.
I still reach for that mango tango and melon breeze. I still wear that. I don't care anything about summer. It's really something I just reach for because it's good quality, manly, seems very versatile type of sense.
Yeah, and that's what Johnny was saying there. You can count on for both carrier blends and scent profiles. You're going to get a great feeling beard. Your feeling beard's going to last all day, and then your scent's going to last all day too. Consistency. Yeah, very cool.
That's right.
Mango Tango is amazing. There you go. I got to smell it since I got it right here.
Yes. It's addictive.
Yeah, a lot of these are. That's
I
got a
gotta wear at
that's
least
got an extra little fragrancy note to it to kind of make the mango kind of sparkle a little bit.
yeah, I think it's the bergamot, and then there's a little amber in there, which gives it a little warmthness, and I think that's what makes it a little bit more uh, wearable.
Hmm.
So definitely, that's why I was going with it. I didn't want it just to be for the summer. I wanted you to kind of reach for it more, at least until the beginning of winter. So I'm very proud of that, and it really puts me in a good place every time I smell it. I gotta wear it at least once a week. It's always in rotation.
Yeah, you got so many scents now; it's hard to keep them in rotation. Brandon,
I,
you ask a good question there, so you are correct. So in the notes section, that's where you put the 1 ounce oil, whatever scent you want there. You just type it in the notes, and Betty will take good care of you. I know.
Absolutely. You can always DM me too, but definitely put it in the comments section. Um, that way I know what scent you want. And I love doing that for customers so they get to try something if they're stuck. Everybody's buying Christmas shopping, so it's tough. So definitely that's why I decided to put it.
Yeah, that's a great deal. It makes it worth it. I know your oils are usually is a little bit more expensive than some of the other companies, but it's 2 ounces. But you throw in that good deal, you get a percent off, and then you get to try another scent. That 1 ounce free oil thrown in, that really does make it a good deal. And I think it gets your products in some more hands and some more beards out there, which I know is what you want.
Absolutely.
Let's see what Jeffrey says. Yeah, and Jeffrey kind of has the same take that I do. Sometimes you'll read what you read on a website or see online or something. It's not the same as actually trying stuff. Some of the scents. That's why when I work with a new owner and they'll say, "What do you want me to send you?" Take a look at the website and tell me which one you want. I say, "I don't do that. Like you send me whatever best you think's best represents your company." And because I'm always surprised, a lot of times it's things that I didn't think I would like, I like, and then the ones that I thought I would like, I may not like as much as some of the other ones. So, yeah, keep an open mind and try as many things as you can.
Absolutely. And you gotta remember too, from a creation standpoint, obviously you don't make oils, so you don't know, but when we add all of these things in it and like it's creating a different experience than you didn't know you would think you would get, you didn't know you think you would like. Because with all these scents, it creates something called an accord,
Hmm.
which gives off something reminiscent of something, either another smell that you like or a memory. And these things play a lot into what we use every day because again, you have hundreds, thousands of different oils, but there's certain ones that you're reaching for reasons on a regular basis. So um, that's what's good about that. And again, I love to provide that value and create any type of experience that's gonna make you reach for it or something that's gonna hold a special place in your heart.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've done a lot of YouTube videos trying to explain scents, which is hard to do, right? You do a good job because you've created it and you've thought about it. But I try to review stuff. It's like, how do I explain that to somebody on the internet watching a video, what something smells like? So and I don't do the same thing every time. Is whatever pops in my brain, I take notes about it or think about it, and then when I turn the camera on, I just kind of go with it. But some of the best ones are ones that kind of trigger that memory, as you
Yep.
said, or it paints a picture, and I can try to paint that same picture on what I get from particular scents. And those are the good ones. Those are the ones that stay in the rotation and make you smile and all that good stuff, which is kind of interesting. I never knew 6 years ago that a scent could do that in a beard oil.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Taking things to new heights.
Yeah. Thank you, JP. He and I almost have the exact same uh, preferences when it comes to scent profiles. It's good to find somebody that you trust that you can watch on YouTube and kind of get that from.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because some people like different things. I noticed that when I first started, it's like, so I would like, oh, this sounds really good. And this person likes it. And I got it. And it's like, that's not my thing. So you kind of have to pick and choose and figure out who you jive with.
Mm-hmm.
But I
You're
think
right
almost
about
everybody out there is going to jive with these Fetti Says scents. They're so complex and sophisticated, and they got that rich smoothness to it.
right.
They got a lot of complexity that kind of changes throughout the day. I think everybody's you can find something that you like in all these scents because you've been doing this a while now and you've got a pretty good catalog built up.
Thank you. And definitely that's what it's about, coming up again with different experiences, different notes that work well together to create accords and give off something different for the consumer where they look forward to opening the package and just giving them a different vibe, a different perspective than maybe what they would think from the label or what other people might have said about it. So it's always exciting to get your take on it and just allow you to come up with what you get from the smell versus what I can say about it.
Yeah, and sometimes I know I pick up different things than what you intended, but hey, that's my perspective. So
It's never wrong.
it's right. If it's your opinion, it's never wrong. That's right. For sure. Let's go over the scent profile one more time for those folks that just came in, and we'll see if there's any final questions or anything else you want to go over with everyone, and then we'll call it a night here. So we've got Oscar Night, a brand new scent. You can get it in oil or butter. It's a floral rich tobacco with sweet goodness. So you get a little bit of that sweetness, but the sweetness comes from things like you said, a little bit of honey, a little bit of like rum raisin kind of. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it, but you also pick up floral, but it's not flower. It's just weird. It's not like flower, like hibiscus, like you said earlier. It hits different than that, but you do get a little bit of floral in there. But I get a lot of earthiness, especially when you get to dry down. Some of that initial sweetness pop goes away. You get a lot more earthiness from the two different types of the tobacco and whatever else you said in there that had the earthiness to it. What else was there? There was something else. Saffron.
Um, yeah, the saffron is the flower, and how I would describe that is it works very well with cedar wood.
That's right.
Where not everybody smokes cigars, but if you could imagine like um a cigar wrapper or the smell of tobacco like in the wrapper.
The dry tobacco.
Right, and then it's pungent, and then it goes away. So the same thing with the saffron, like the inside of that flower you smell, and it's like a sophistication there, and then that goes away, and then you start getting deep into the richness, the rum, the cognac, um, the spiced honey, the tonka, the oud. Um, that really plays well, and there is a little vanilla in there, but it all just works cohesively together to create um, an ultimate awesome experience.
I
Where you have
totally
one of
agree.
tobacco scent, but what kind of tobacco scent is that? That's not your typical tobacco scent. And again, it's sweet, mid-sweet pipe tobacco. That's actually as a top note, which makes the opening very pleasant. And that dry tobacco is at the bottom, which again gives that masculinity, that distinguished personality, gives it a lot of character to really makes it more of like a dense scent versus
Yeah, it's
something.
got it's interesting when the top notes wear off and some of that sweetness goes away. You've got just the perfect blend of everything. It's not too sweet. There's just a little bit of floral at the beginning, but it's not tons of floral. The tobacco's not too peppery or anything in your nose, but between the earthiness from the tobacco and the cedar wood's got a little bit of that bitter bite to it, so it balances everything. It's so nice, so nice. Good job on it. I
Thank
really enjoy it. Yeah, and the hearing you talk about it is a lot better than just reading a floral rich tobacco with sweet goodness. You need
Yeah,
to
you don't know what
beef
to
that
make.
up. You need to beef that up a little bit on the website. Put some of that stuff you were saying in there. You explain it very, very well.
Yeah, I just try not to be too chunky or
Yeah.
too much info to throw off. But yeah, I'll try to add that in there. Maybe it's like a fine print note of some of the things in there. But that's what I got it. And again, I think of it imagining, you want to make a good first impression, maybe at a local event. And again, you're going around shaking people's hands, what have you. They're going to smell you and say, I like him. Like he's different. So that's kind of the aura I put into it, and that's what the make of it is to give that impression. And for those that love tobacco too, which I'm a fan of, now it doesn't feel like a redundant purchase. Like how many tobacco scents you're gonna have? This one is gonna be a little different where you don't feel like you just keep buying tobacco scents.
Yeah, and I would say this: all Fetti scents are very unique. You're not going to smell anything like this for the most part. I don't know if anything I could say I've smelt something from another company just like it. It's very unique and something that you've done yourself from scratch and thought about all of this, and you're painting the picture and you're trying to get that scene across or this idea, this accord that you were talking about. You great job with it. Hey, Michael, good to see everybody in there. I see some people popping in. I saw Julian in here.
What's up, Julian? That's
And
my
Jay,
guy.
I thought it might be. And Jason, good to see you.
Jason, what's up? Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, happy holidays. Anything else you want to talk about? I know you got some big things going on in your world these days. As you said, you were trying to get moving around. Oh, thank you. JP's giving out gift memberships. Yay! We'll have some more folks lifted up in green. That's very cool. I appreciate that. Always good to have more people on board with the memberships.
Absolutely. Yeah, I just bought a home. I'm excited about that, moving into that. I'm going to have some more YouTube content coming out to back up and further explain any questions or concerns people might have with how to use my products. I have a YouTube channel called Fetti Says, so you're going to see more videos pop up where I can talk about different scents, highlight different scents, maybe further elaborate on my reasoning behind making certain scents, so people can get like kind of a tutorial on that before making a purchase. So yeah, that's going to be coming in the next couple of months, as long as more, as well as more great scents, sample packs, apparel.
That's a nice
Like
looking hat you've got, by the way.
thank you. So more of that, more T-shirts, candles, all
Oh,
these things
candles.
now
Some of
come
these
up.
rich, complex scents and candles. Come on now.
Could you imagine chocolate coffee,
Woo!
white apple bourbon in a candle
Hey,
above the fireplace?
now we're talking.
Exactly. So
That
that's next to
makes me
come.
happy hearing that, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
You got some room to work in your new place?
Oh yeah, a lot of
Good.
room for inventory. Build some walls up to store products, as well as room to create and experiment. I need room to make these candles. Also, some beard wash bars,
Mm-hmm.
like the hockey puck soaps.
Yep.
Um, Make that travel size and things like that. So it's a lot more to come.
I'm getting
A lot more.
excited hearing that. I'm getting excited.
Absolutely. It's going to be a plethora of things just like you see. I'm still working on the cologne. That's next up once I figure that out. But these other things I mentioned prior are more so um, likely to come up in the near future versus the cologne. I'm still working on that. That's separate.
Yeah, so cologne, and then we've got the woodsy scent next year, and then autumn spice and the candle. If you get the candles going when autumn comes around next year,
Hmm.
there you go.
Must have once late September hits, they're gonna be in stock.
Nice. I'm anxious to see all of that stuff. I'm excited for you. You got a lot of cool things happening in your life, which is very exciting. And
Sir.
I'll be here to help you do whatever I can for you.
I appreciate you throughout this whole process. These live streams have been, you
That's the
know,
best thing to get you out there, because hearing you describe it and your passion for it, and just all the detail and thought process that you put into to these, you can tell it's a labor of love, and that's kind of infectious, and it's good to see when you're trying to build a customer base. I know your customers really enjoy hearing that firsthand, instead of me trying to do it secondhand, or them, just trying to read it off a website.
absolutely. And it's also a privilege to be able to talk about it. Not every creator gets a chance to talk about their baby, if you will, or the next campaign that they're running. Um, I'm sure they would like to talk more about it, but they're busy and it's hard for them to balance everything.
Well,
But I
everybody's different. Not everybody has the gift of gab and can, feel comfortable to getting that word out there. Sometimes it's hard to express, all the things that goes through your head as you're trying to create, but you do a great job at it. So I'm looking forward to hearing some more content from you on your YouTube channel too. You guys make sure you subscribe to Fetti Says.
absolutely. And any questions, you guys can feel free to reach out to me. Any type of feedback or anything else, I always welcome that because I only want to get better.
Absolutely. And remember, the deal tonight is if you use the code XMAS, that'll save you 25% on your order. Plus, you'll get a free 1 ounce oil of choice. You just look and see from all the oils that are in stock, see which scent you want, and just type that in the notes at checkout. And how long are you going to let that go on for? I know you usually let it for a couple of days, I think, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Definitely the 25% off. I may have that run well into next week. Why not? Because for Christmas I'm gonna have to come up with another code anyway. And believe it or not, that's tedious. So
Yeah.
I will let it run. I'll think about the 1 ounce oil. Probably not, because that just makes more work.
Yeah.
But definitely the 25% off. I'll extend to at least the new year. What's up, Andrew?
Hey, Andrew. Andrew will
Congrats on
like
that, bro.
Andrew will like this scent. I think Andrew would like this one
Yeah, I know. I know he would. I think he would.
for sure. And so, guys, if you have any questions, reach out to Fetti. He's on Instagram, and I don't know if you've got website. You through the website, use it about us and contact us there as well. And Fetti says at gmail.com, all kinds of ways to reach Fetti. If you can't get a hold of him, let me know. I'll step in and see if I can get a hold of him too. But he's easy to find, that's for sure. Andrew, I got to tell you, since you just came in, there's a lot to it. So you want to go back and watch some of this if you want, because we always love hearing from Fetti for sure. But Oscar Night is a floral rich tobacco with sweet goodness. And that does not nearly describe the complexity of this scent. So we're not going to rehash all of that right here, but go back and watch a few minutes of the beginning of the live stream here, and you can hear our takes on it for sure. Anything else you want to go over, Fetti? I think that's probably it. That's a lot of stuff for sure.
Yeah, I think we basically covered it, and there's a lot for you guys to choose from and take advantage of. And I just want to wish everybody well for their holidays. Spend time with your family. If you got to tell somebody I'm sorry for something, just say you're sorry, man.
Right on.
um, I wish everybody well into the new year, and just go for whatever you've been thinking about.
Yeah, right on. This we'll go right on to the new year and have all your resolutions and all that. And I was going to say the same thing. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Enjoy your family. Enjoy any time off that you have. Get refreshed and rejuvenated for 2024. I usually do karaoke on Sunday nights, but this Sunday's Christmas Eve. I don't have anything planned. Like, I don't have to be anywhere. So I'm not sure. I may do a few songs and read the "'Twas the Night Before the Christmas" or something like that for anybody that's just out there by themselves, or just chilling with their family and want to have something to listen to. I might do a couple of songs, because those are you talked about things that creating your memories and all that with your sense. Songs do that for me, especially some of the Christmas songs. So that's always a good time to have a little reminiscing and painting pictures and bringing back some of your favorite memories.
Get you in the spirit, yeah.
That's right. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there. Hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, and check out Fetti Says, and make sure you check out this Oscar night and use the code XMAS. If that one's gone, you can always use my Banjo 20 to get you 20% off any other time. All right. Yeah, I'm super psyched to get Oscar night, but my composure will be worthy of an eye. There you go. We're going to act it out. That's just to act it out when you get your scent. See if it's Oscar worthy. That'll be pretty cool. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Have a good night, folks, and we'll be seeing you soon. Thanks.